Hello everyone and welcome to Lovella's Coloring. I have another coloring tag for you guys and it is called Artist Favorites Adult Coloring Tag. It was created by ElmColors and I was tagged by both Amberle, Silencia and Dani Buttons. So thank you ladies so much for thinking of me, and thank you to Erica ElmColors for creating this fun tag. I do hope that you guys have fun seeing which ones I choose as my favorites. There is a list that was provided and you can find that down below in the video description. But you know, as I was looking through that list, it was so hard for me to figure out which ones to pick as my favorites. So like my favorite artists amongst the list, and then my favorite book from that artist, and then my favorite page. So yeah, it was very hard. There was a lot of going back and forth and switching of books, but it was a lot of fun trying to figure it out. And I just want to say that all of the books, artists, pages that I pick are my favorites right now. If I were to do this kind of tag again like next year, I know my picks will definitely be different. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started. So here are the first 5 books that Erica wanted us to choose a page from, or a book from, then a page from. So the artists are Johanna Basford, Kirby Roars, Hannah Carlson, Maria Chile, and Aery. So I'm gonna put these other ones aside and pull out the Johanna Basford. So I do have all of Johanna Basford's coloring books, but her newest one, which I should receive in a couple of days, sometime next week, I think in the beginning of April. But the reason why I picked Ivy and the Inky Butterfly as my favorite is because this one is different from her other books, meaning that this one is a story and a coloring book together. And yeah, it's just a beautiful book to have in your collection. And this is also a book, this is one of my colorings. This is also the book that I want to eventually finish. And actually, this page right over here, this double page spread, is one of my favorites. I've been going like back and forth between pages, but this spread is, as a double page spread, is my favorite. And I do have a single page spread that I really like, which is this cake one right over here. So the strawberry sponge cake, I don't know, I think I just love the border, the strawberries, the cake. It's just very simple but beautiful. And I don't know if I'm trying to see if I can do this book in order now since I want to eventually finish this book, but we'll see. I'm still working on the ink house, so I'll probably work on this book sometime this year. So this one is the Ivy and the Inky Butterfly from Johanna Basford. The next artist is Kirby Roars, and I am sharing Fragile World, which is his latest book. I do have his other books, but I decided to go with his newest one because I love all of his books anyway. So to make it easier on me, I just picked his latest one, and I do not have anything colored in here. So again, you know, Kirby is a wonderful illustrator. This is one of my favorites too. I was trying to decide between this and many others. This is awesome. I really love the tiger. Yeah, it's so hard to choose. This one was another favorite. I love pandas, and just awesome book to have. I love this one too, but I finally just settled on this cute red panda. I already, you know, just looking at this page, I can kind of imagine how I want to color it, so that's why I decided to pick this one as my favorite amongst all of them. Again, you know, if you come back to me in like a month or 6 months later, I might pick something else, but right now this is the page that really sticks out to me. So the Red Panda from Fragile World by Kirby Roars. The third artist is Hannah Carlson, and like Kirby Roars, I do have most of her books. I think the only one I don't have is the Goldcorn. I think that's how you say it. So I decided to just go ahead and pick the latest book, which I haven't colored in yet. I do love all of her books. I love her work. So I decided to just go ahead and pick Midnight Masquerade. And again, it's so hard to pick a page in here. Very beautiful. I was like flipping between like this one, because I would color this like a spread for some reason, but it's not, because the blackberry raspberry doesn't go all the way, and this one. But I decided to pick these two queens, the Queen of Spades and the Queen of Hearts. The reason I picked these two is because it really stuck out, and also when I first flipped through this book, these ladies were the ones that I was like trying to imagine how it would look if I were to color it. And I'm still imagining, still haven't decided how I want to color it, so that's why it's still sitting. But really, really love these two ladies. And I've already seen such beautiful works from other colorists, so yeah, these are my favorite pages from Midnight Masquerade by Hannah Carlson. So the fourth artist is Maria Chile, and I picked Flora. So like the other artists, I do have all of her books, but again, it's hard for me to pick. I love all of them, so I picked her latest one. I already did color in this book, which is this page right over here. Use watercolors and colored pencils and Posca. But yeah, again, picking a favorite in this book, it's hard. Like, this one's very pretty. I like that one. So many to choose from. So I decided, this one's pretty too. Yeah, I was going back and forth again. I decided to pick this picture right over here because I love the flowers. I believe it's a kind of like a tiger lily. I forgot what it's called. Stargazer. It's called a stargazer. So yeah, I can imagine the flowers being so vibrant and popping out. So, and I like how it's framed. So I decided to pick this page. So again, this is Flora coloring book, illustrated by Maria Chile. The fifth artist is Aery, and I picked this book, which is her latest book, and I believe it's called Fairy Tales Around the World. And like the other artists, I do have all of her books. They're all equally beautiful to me, but I didn't just pick this because it was her latest one, but it's because it does have a fairy tale theme, which I love. And so it made it easy to pick the book, but it was so hard to pick a page in here. I love how it's detailed. So many wonderful pages here. I like this one. But the page I eventually picked as my favorite. So this is the Wizard of Oz. But the page I picked from the two is this one right over here with the witches. And I picked this one because I haven't seen the Wizard of Oz witches, like all of them, in a coloring book. And so I just love how you have north, east, west, and south. And this is just such a cute page. So that's why I picked this one to be my favorite. So again, this is, I believe, Fairy Tales Around the World by Aery. So the next 5 artists or publishers are ones that I would pick, and it was so hard, like I said earlier, to pick from that whole list of artists and publishers. But I hope you guys enjoy seeing which ones I picked from that list. So I'm going to start with the first one, which is Lulu Mayo, or is it Mayo? Mayo. But anyways, I just picked up her 2 newest ones, so I picked this one, which is A Million Cute Animals, and it is so cute. Just looking at the cover, it's just so pretty. And again, picking a page from this book, so hard. And I actually still haven't decided. You can see I didn't put any post-it on it, but I'll show you the 2. So I picked koalas because I love koalas, and this is just so cute. I love the koala family and the heart, and then they're here hanging on these flowers. But then at the same time, I was stuck between that one and this page right over here with the cats in the strawberry basket. You can see the little cat here hanging on. It's just so cute. So it was between those, and I just can't pick. It's just too cute. So this is my pick, Lulu Mayo, A Million Cute Animals. The next artist that I picked is Lynn, and I love Lynn's work. I do have a majority of her books. There's only a couple that I don't have, and I did have a problem going back and forth with 2 of her books, Mythical Maidens, and then this one, Fairy Tale Princesses and Storybook Darlings. I eventually picked this book because I do love fairy tale coloring books, and her illustrations in here, gorgeous. I mean, again, it was so hard to pick just one. This one is cute. This is the one that I colored in this book. This is Rapunzel. Again, so many. So the one I eventually picked as my favorite is Belle. And I just love this whole scene with the castle in the background, the little lake. Then you have the forest right here, the lion on the post, all that details on the gate. It's just very beautiful. I love it. So that's why I picked this page as my favorite and my favorite book from Lynn. So this is Fairy Tale Princesses and Storybook Darlings. The next artist is actually not on the list that Erica provided. I believe she said that you can pick other artists. It was just a list of examples to choose from. So I picked Jasmine Beckett Griffith, and this is her Alice in Wonderland coloring book. She does have 3 other coloring books, but I decided to pick this one because I really love the illustration that is my favorite in this book. So I did do a coloring in here that I want to share with you, which is this one. It's called Cheshire Cat Cuddle. And that's another thing that I love about Jasmine Beckett Griffith is her coloring books. It is single-sided and works well with watercolor. She also gives you a description of her painting. So these are just line works of her original painting, and they're acrylics, and also they're of her present and her past work. So you can see the difference in the way the girls look, but it was so much to choose from. So the one that I did choose as my favorite is these princesses here. This one is called Alice and the Beaujolais Princesses, and I apologize if I said that wrong, but I just love how you have all of them. You have Alice, you have Cinderella, Rapunzel, Aurora, and Snow White. So, and I've seen the original painting, not in person, but like I've looked up her paintings before, and I really love how this one looks. And yeah, so that's why I picked this illustration as my favorite from Jasmine Beckett Griffith. And again, this is the Alice in Wonderland coloring book. The next artist that I want to share that is one of my favorites is Anastasia Calderona. I really love her work, her girls, her just beautiful, gorgeous. And I do have 3 of her other coloring books, but this is the latest one from her that I own, so I decided to show this one, which is Serenity coloring book. I do know that she has a newer one out, but I don't own it yet. Probably not until like maybe later in the year or next year or something, but I picked Serenity to share. And I did pick a favorite in this book, which was really hard because each of the pages in here is just gorgeous. So again, I was like flipping back and forth, trying to decide which one. Really, this one's beautiful. I like this one too. This one is so pretty. They're all gorgeous. But I finally decided to go with this girl right over here. I don't know, maybe it's something about her turning her head and looking back at you kind of thing. And I just love her hair, the shells and stones, and the I think that's rope that's like intertwined in her hair. But yeah, so I picked this one to be my favorite from the Serenity coloring book by Anastasia Calderona. So the last book I want to share with you is Disney Vitrales. And this one is the Spanish version. The French version is called Disney Vitro. And this is by the publishers Hachette Heroes. So I picked this book from all of the Disney books by Hachette Hero. This book does have an illustrator, which is Jean-Luc Guerin. And I apologize if I pronounced that wrong. Here has a page that I colored. And this is just a beautiful book. This is also one of the books that I want to eventually finish, like the Ivy and the Inky Butterfly by Johanna Basford. And yeah, it's just so many. Oh, I colored this guy over here. But yeah, again, so many beautiful pages to color, and amongst all of the Disney books by Hachette Heroes, this is my favorite. And I did pick, here's another page that I colored, which is Winnie the Pooh. The page I picked as my favorite, and I decided to just go with the first that I was introduced to Disney, which is Mickey and his gang. So we have Goofy, Minnie Mouse, and Donald Duck. I was going to say Daffy Duck for some reason. Now I have his voice in my head. And then Pluto. So I picked this page. So yeah, so that is all of my favorite artists and books and pages. And yeah, this is a hard tag to do, choosing from so many wonderful, talented artists, but it was a lot of fun, especially like looking through all of these books. So I believe Erica does have this open to anyone who wants to participate. So if you haven't done a video like this, I tagged you. Just remember to tag ElmColors. And please let me know, because I would love to watch your video. I love watching these kinds of tag videos and just seeing everyone's choices. I also want to shout out some channels that I would love to see do this. And I don't know if they have already been tagged, but they don't have to do it if they don't want to. I just know that they own a lot of the same books on the list. So if you're interested, I hope you can do this tag. So I tag Maybrox, CB's Coloring and Craft, Color Creatively, and Coloring at V's. So every channel that I mentioned in my video, I will leave links to their channels, and to ElmColors, Dani Buttons, and Amberle Silencia, I will leave the link to their artist first videos for you guys if you haven't seen it yet. And yeah, so that's it. Again, thank you so much, Erica, ElmColors, for creating this fun tag, and especially to Amberle and Dani for tagging me. I thank all of you so much for watching. I really appreciate you all for stopping by. I'm sending you all love and hugs. Please take care, keep safe, and I'll see you at my next video. Happy colorings. Bye-bye.